Starting with the Elderly Wolf Uncle, Chapter 126. Two beams of light wrapped in terrifying temperature and energy burst out. The surrounding air rippled with the naked eye. Majestic hot air currents ravaged the alley. The ground, which was originally a little wet, turned dry in an instant. Rumble. The jeep that Chen Tian was riding in was instantly blasted out by the raging red energy wave for a few meters, and then exploded. The flames are churning, and countless car parts are splashed. The surrounding dust and fog are rising, churning endlessly, straight to the sky. When Queen Maeve saw this scene, her body trembled, and she sighed regretfully, but in the end she was unable to save this person. At the same time, he cautiously glanced at the motherland in front of him, and his shadow became deeper and deeper in his heart. And the other side. The people of the motherland looked at the vehicle in front of them that had been directly blown to pieces, and the red light in their eyes slowly dissipated. And the look under their eyes was extremely cold. The expression on his face was illuminated by the fire of the explosion of the vehicle in front of him. Let Ashley handle this. After he said a word, he picked up Queen Maeve and turned around to leave. However, the two of them had not yet walked out a few steps. Trample, trample, trample. He suddenly noticed that in the pair of churning black fog behind him, there was a sound of steady footsteps. Motherland, you really dare to be a coward. A voice with mockery immediately reached the ears of the people of the motherland. The person who spoke was Chen Tian. When the people of the motherland heard each other's voices, they were slightly stunned, and when they turned around, they saw Chen Tian, and walked out of the intact sky-wide flames. Queen Maeve was also stunned when she saw this. This guy was slapped by the hot eyes of the motherland, and he didn't die. Quote. Then, she noticed that Chen Tian was not dead, he was simply safe and sound, and even the clothes on his body were not affected by half a point. The bottom of my heart was even more shocking. The people of the motherland looked at Chen Tian with a smile, but he couldn't laugh anymore, and narrowed his eyes slightly. It seems that you are not an ordinary person. No wonder you talk to me so much, underestimate you at the same time. He also began to understand that the teenager in front of him seemed to know his own details. The people of the motherland realized this, and their expressions became more and more gloomy. I originally wanted you to die easily, but now. He paused, then roared, I'm going to slaughter you in the name of a super criminal. The voice just fell. Phew. The figure of the motherland who was originally standing in place exploded, turning into a terrifying afterimage that was moving at high speed, rolling up the turbulent airflow like a violent wind. And rushed towards Chen Tian. Queen Maeve wanted to stop it, but the speed of the motherland was too fast for her to react. I could only feel helpless and watch Chen Tian being killed. No way, even if Chen Tianzhen's ability is extraordinary, he can't resist the people of the motherland. No one is an opponent of the motherland. Queen Maeve closed her eyes a little unbearably. The other side. Chen Tian looked at the motherland people rushing towards him, and he did not hurry to dodge. After having the divine speed power, his nerve reaction speed has skyrocketed. Although the other party is now in a high-speed action that exceeds the speed of sound, all the movements become extremely slow in his eyes. Even the details of the pores on his face being blown by the airflow can be clearly seen by him. Then, combat detected, rewarded, super speed, motherland. A prompt sound of copying ability suddenly sounded in Chen Tian's mind. He felt his speed increase again. The next moment, the motherland has already rushed to the front. Chen Tian only smiled lightly at this time, and he didn't even need to use his divine speed, and on the side of his body, the people of the motherland passed by him. Quote, question mark, exclamation mark, quote. The latter suddenly locked his pupils and was full of disbelief. All of this happens in an instant. The next moment, rumble. The people of the motherland, however, were shocked, and did not react at all and directly crashed into the house on the opposite street. Bang! At this time, the entire building suddenly shook, and it was instantly covered with dense cracks. Followed by, boom. The whole building couldn't hold on, directly disintegrated into countless pieces, lost its shape and collapsed. Countless rubble fell to the ground, and a thick dust mist rose up into the sky, covering the sky. The ground also trembled violently after the first shock, and because of the collapse of the entire building, it continued to tremble. Boom. Time. People near the street, hearing this movement, rushed out directly, screaming, crying and escaping. Run around. On the other side, there are also many people who are attracted to watch this scene. P.S. It's another day of 20,000 word updates. Please Queen Maeve. That's Queen Maeve. Is she coming to catch criminals again? It's beautiful. I don't know if I can see the motherland here. He is the strongest superhero in my mind. Those passers-by who were attracted by the explosion just now noticed Queen Maeve standing not far away. For the national idols that can be hot today, naturally everyone knows about it. One by one, their faces immediately showed an extremely excited expression, and they talked about it, and they took out their mobile phones to shoot. And Queen Maeve, who was standing across the street, watched the scene of the collapse of the building, and stood in place in shock. I couldn't get back to my senses for a long time. This teenager, who seems to have nothing special except a handsome and beautiful face, actually avoided the impact of the motherland. You must know that the distance between the two of them just now is only a few meters. At such a close distance, there is no possibility of hoo-hoo. Even Queen Maeve herself is completely unsure of avoiding the impact of the motherland. Queen Maeve looked at Chen Tian, who had escaped the impact of the motherland, and stopped talking. Although the Super 6 also has heroes who are mainly super speed, in fact, the speed of the locomotive is not much faster than that of the motherland. Not at all an opponent of the motherland. Right now, the boy in front of him not only has super strength stronger than himself, but also has strong defense and speed. It's just incredible. Just as Queen Maeve was stunned and shocked in place. Phew. On the opposite side, Chen Tian's figure suddenly flickered vaguely, and actually appeared directly next to Queen Maeve. How? Who do you think is stronger now? Chen Tian stretched out his hand, put it on her shoulder, put his mouth close to the latter's ear, and asked softly. Queen Maeve came back to her senses when she heard this, glanced at the boy who was close at hand, breathed air with a faint body temperature, and her chest was beating endlessly. For a while, I couldn't say anything. Chapter 1 Previous Chapter 126-186